Hello and welcome back to the latest episode here on the Rule of Two Cinema Reviews channel. And obviously this is a Star Wars show, if you can't tell. But, we are very enthusiastic about the world and universe of Star Wars. And so we have this show here every Sunday where we just talk about Star Wars. And with me, as always, is Misa Sista.
That's right.
Yeah, and this week we got a brand new comic. We got two brand new comics, but Afra is Afra. So this week we're going to be doing the Star Wars Age of Rebellion Boba Fett. This is one that I knew it was coming out, but then I wasn't as excited as I am after reading it, because it's pretty cool. But yeah, as always, we would like to hear your thoughts on the topics and anything that we say about them. So definitely tell us your thoughts in the comment section down below. I did look it up, and we still have comment sections on good. These videos, at least. But so yeah, tell us your thoughts there. If you don't want to tell them there, we can do it on the C Cinema Reviews. We are on Twitter. And we have our own Facebook page. Those links will be in the description. So yeah, tell us your thoughts on any of those platforms. And let's get into Boba Fett. Boba Fett where? This one is in a Hunter's, or not, but just Hunter's Heart. Greg Pak is the story guy. Mark Lamming is the artist. And Niraj Menon is the colorist. Tell me your thoughts about this, since you are not exactly excited or at the possibility of a Boba Fett, the character, or story.
Well, much like Afra, I care nothing for this character of Boba Fett. I haven't liked him in any of the movies or the Clone Wars. Not for me. That being said, I really enjoyed this comic.
Right?
Maybe because he says nothing.
It's great. He says four words? Yeah.
Everything else was from other people, which I really enjoyed because
right.
Who wants Boba talking?
He became like the enigmatic space cowboy, the Lone Ranger bounty hunter that we all knew.
Well, if you can make him into the boogeyman that everyone is afraid of
in this book,
then
definitely
that's a good character.
Yeah.
The thing is, I think until this comic, he was really just overblown. Just like everybody's like, he's amazing, he's done nothing, we know nothing. The reason why everybody likes him is literally because they're like, oh, we want to see him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit and fighting his way out. That's cool, but that's fan fiction.
That's true.
That has not happened.
That's true.
That may never happen. A movie with him and that being part of the story might be cool, but again, that's fan fiction, that's speculation. It will not happen until they decide to put a movie behind him or a show.
Yeah.
So everything up to this point has just been people blowing smoke about Boba Fett, and but this comic was really good, I have to say. Even if I don't like things, I'm objective.
You didn't like him
objective.
previous. You didn't like the stories that he's been in previous, or at least his, you don't understand the hype behind him previously.
Correct. This was cool. And I think it's partly because he doesn't speak.
Yeah.
All of his character building in this comic is done through other people.
Definitely.
Again,
their reactions.
Speculation and people blowing smoke within the world of Star Wars, not just people out here. So whether all of that stuff is true or not, we'll never know because of Boba Fett never speaks. He never confirms anything or denies anything.
It's great. But
this does a lot for him, for me. I enjoyed it.
That's good, because when I read it, I literally just got done reading it before we went on air. So,
did you research?
I did my research. This is This is what I expect the Mandalorian to be very much like. You got this lone gunfighter that everybody's heard about, that everybody's a little scared of, you know, that he has the respect of everybody we see and have and come in contact with this. The planet they're on is Carajam, or Carajam.
It's comics. Nobody ever knows.
Yeah, it's in the Outer Rim, and it's like a desert planet. I thought it was Tatooine, and then I had to remind myself that it was that planet. But it's like, wow, there's definitely some cowboy lone gunfighter. He rides a horse. It's like a space horse. It's like mostly mechanical. He's riding a horse. And it's they definitely are like, hey, yeah, Star Wars is a Western in space and all that good stuff. And this is definitely a Western story where you got the guy bringing in the bounty into the place. And then to me, it's
it harkens back to that other comic we read, Jango Fett and Little Boba Fett. And how he was talking to him about the reputation.
Yes.
He has a fully fledged reputation in this.
Everyone
which
knows.
I thought was a cool callback to that. In not even referencing that other comic. But yet, if you read the other one, you can completely see Boba Fett was barely starting to build his reputation. Mm-hmm. And here he has one. Everybody knows him.
Everybody. Even one of the quote unquote best in the business, Zingo, who's the guy who's his kind of main antagonist, I guess you would say, the guy he goes after for the most part of this one. This guy is he's supposed to be one of the best, and he's even a little bit afraid of Boba Fett and all that good stuff.
But you do have some odd moments in here where you're not sure. There's definitely a gray area as to who is bad and who is good.
Yeah.
Because there's a woman who's talking about the Zingo, I don't know what we're calling, bounty hunter.
Uh-huh. Zingo.
And saying that, he worked with the rebels.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this Zingo guy, he is pretty ruthless. He shoots his own people. He shoots innocent people.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, wait, this guy worked for the rebellion?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be rooting for him even though he's, pretty ruthless dude? And at the same time, Boba Fett, he's this big, bad sort of boogeyman.
Boba Fett is definitely the boogeyman.
And yet, when he's out there going after Zingo, he gives water to a man that Zingo shoots.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wait, is Boba the
Boba has
hero
a heart.
of this? Or,
Boba has a heart, okay? He does go after bounties regardless of who they are. His name is Zingo Gabnit.
Gabnit.
Gabnit. That's his
Hunter's
name.
heart, yeah.
Yeah, Boba has a heart, The guy was dying. He did give him some water. And let's be honest, Boba can afford some water the next time he comes into a place.
Right.
So, Boba, he's not, he is the boogeyman, but he's not a boogeyman, who's just gonna... He's not a robot.
Right.
Is what I'm trying to say. He's not a robot to where he just does his mission and that's it. He does his mission and everybody's afraid of him. But at the same time, he does have a little bit of a heart. He does have,
There are some panels where people start, talking or saying, I'm going to take that bounty, and Boba just, looks at them and they're like, no, never mind.
Yeah, it's pretty
Or people
great.
Start talking to him and then it's just or not,
Yeah.
And he just sort of, never speaks in this till the very, very end.
Definitely.
He takes out Zingo. It's a pretty, I would say, a standard little fight that they have.
I think it's pretty cool.
They, Zingo's running through the desert, whatever they call it, a death something or other.
The Death Plains? Death Plains, yeah.
And Boba finds him eventually, and
yeah, they have a cool little conflict where he's hiding in this shack or something like that, and then Boba just busts down the door, and then you see that it's a communicator in there with a grenade set to go off, and the guy was like, ha ha ha, I told you. And then Boba Fett just jumps back and gets out of the explosion and jetpacks up.
Right.
It's great. Boba has all the answers. He uses his flamethrower, which you can never get enough flamethrower. It looks like Zingo's gun is the one that Rey has. just without the barrel in episode
Yeah,
7.
does look like that.
It's very much like that. I think it's a great story, man.
Yeah, he gets him. He saves the people in the village because Zingo had basically held him captive.
Yeah, he had like
or
booby
whatever.
trapped them, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
To like get, to kill them somehow. If
So
Boba
again, is this a good guy? Is Boba the good guy? What's going on here? And he gets back to this like cantina sort of looking place, and there's a guy there, and he's going, "Thank you so much. We could use your help. Come help us. We'll go on this. I've taken out some of Zingo's other people, whatever." And
the Zan sisters, the Xan, that's how you spell it, Zan sisters.
And you see Boba just goes into the cantina and looks at other bounties.
Yeah.
And the second I saw the back of this like bounty hologram, I was like, oh, that's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy. And then the next page is Boba. Boba basically says no, and then he turns around and he's just like,
yeah, because the guy is saying, you hunt bad men, murderers, criminals, and the Boba just like, no, turns around, I hunt bounties, and then it's pretty cool.
And the hologram, you see the front of it, and it's the guy who's speaking to him.
Yeah, it's the guy who's asking
So he
him
turns
for help.
around, points the gun, and probably
And it's basically like, you're coming with me.
right. So I thought that was a really cool way to reveal that little moment. Yeah. I think the panel work there was great. Obviously, the artwork is great.
I think so too. It's very much Western, where like you see just Boba walking through areas like with his gun in his hand, just cape bellowing in the wind. It's great. I think this is how I imagine Mandalorian would be. We still don't have a trailer, you guys. This is a tragedy that we still don't have a trailer for Mandalorian, but this is how
I watched the footage.
I did not. I will not be spoiled. But this is how I imagine the Mandalorian will be, with just this guy who's clearly one of the best in the galaxy at doing what he does, and like him having that reputation, and it just being like, if you get on Boba's like if you are the bounty that Boba takes, you are done for. Because even the guy that Zingo shot, he was telling him, hey, Boba Fett picked up your marker. And then Zingo's like, oh, well, I gotta go now.
Yeah.
So when you have to like walk across the death plains to get away from someone, you know that someone is scary.
Yeah.
Because you're walking across the death plains. But yeah, I think this is one of the better stories from the Age of Rebellion or Age of Republic that I've read so far. I think it really gives Boba Fett the reputation and the boogeyman-esque type of character that I have known that he can always be. We haven't really seen it in any other medium yet, but this one, it really shows off Boba Fett just being, clearly the best, and him having that kind of reputation that he was setting up the last time we saw Boba in a comic.
What's that line that Vader says to him? No more.
No disintegrations.
That line kind of made me think that Boba was sort of a little bit unhinged. He'd just go around killing anybody if he wanted to, which he definitely could, but
yeah.
In this, it made me kind of seem like, oh no, he's not unhinged. He's just going to get his bounty, and that's it. With him giving the guy water, like, he could have easily just killed him.
Yeah, or left him to die.
Because, yeah, exactly. But Boba's not, like, he's not just going to kill anybody for anybody. He's going to kill the person that he wants to kill because, or maybe not kill, capture. But
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? He's just not he's not unhinged in any way.
Mm-hmm. I think I like how Boba Fett is like he not just has the armor, he has the cape. He does have like these like almost braided tassels like with hair, it looks like. I'm not sure if those are from another bounty or something like that. It's pretty cool just to see Boba Fett and like how he almost like collects things because trophies.
The kid who plays him in what is it, episode 2?
Yeah.
He went to Celebration. His interview was really good. I would definitely suggest it. I don't know if they pieced it out for you, but he's a really cool guy, and it's kind of sad that a lot of people don't like those movies. I love those movies, and so I'm really excited whenever I see those people. But I always like to see them there and enjoying the love from all of the people there, you know, because I'm sure they got a lot of hate after those movies, and so
that makes sense.
and
yeah.
he just did a really great interview. He was super happy to be there, and so
Yeah. I think that the Age of Rebellion, the two comics that we have so far, which are the Han Solo one and this one, have been pretty good so far. Next up this week, this upcoming week, we're gonna get the Lando one. So I'm pretty interested to see that. And then the week after that, we're gonna get Jabba the Hutt. And then after that, we'll get Luke Skywalker. So we have some pretty big characters, you know, coming up here, and then Jabba. So yeah, hey,
you know,
he's a large character, yes.
he did his thing.
I would be kind of interested to see.
It was a big part of Han's story,
Yeah.
Leia's story,
Yeah.
even Luke's. We got to see some because of him. We got to see some Luke force choking people,
That's true.
which is rare
That's
for a Jedi. But
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, definitely. We do so I think the Rebellion has been this line of comics has been pretty cool. Okay. Really excited for Lando and Luke more so than Jabba. I hope Jabba's like a cool crime boss, you know, really cool like Godfather type of story. I think that'd be pretty fun to see that. You got Salacious Crumb on the little thing there.
I'm probably more into Han and Luke than anything else, but
yeah, I hope Lando is another one like Han, where it's like a swashbuckling kind of, let's have some fun and have an adventure kind of thing. But yes, pretty fun. I'm super happy that you enjoyed this comic. I know Boba's a hard sell on you.
Yeah.
But the fact that this comic did, look, like guys out there, the fact that this comic was fun and that it won her over a little bit on Boba Fett and his character, that means that you guys should definitely get it. I think it's one of the best ones they've put out lately.
I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, it's a great story. It's a great there's some fighting in there, but it's more about the whole image that Boba has constructed for himself.
Right.
I think it's really good. You guys should pick it up wherever you can, really. But yeah, that's pretty much our thoughts on it. We would like to hear your thoughts on the Boba Fett. If you've read it, if you haven't read it, just tell us your thoughts on what you think of it. Tell us your thoughts on Boba Fett. If you love him, if you like him, if you couldn't, if you have a hard time finding what's all the hype about him, maybe this comic will change your mind a little bit about that. But yeah, tell us your thoughts on, in the comment section, Twitter or Facebook. We would love to hear your thoughts and have a conversation.
We're going to be getting 3 new Star Wars
We're going to be
movies
getting 3 new Star Wars
in the
movies.
next 6 years?
Yes, it is.
Is that including Episode 9?
No, no, that's not including Episode 9. So we got Episode 9 this year, and then I believe in 2022 we're getting that first one, 2024, and then 26, will be those other 3.
Nice.
Assuming that's going to be the Benioff and Weiss stuff.
I would imagine so. I mean, unless
and
Ryan Johnson comes out with his.
I think it's going to be the Benioff and Weiss stuff. I'm not sure what they're doing with the Ryan Johnson stuff. It's not to say that his stuff is like canceled or anything like that. He's probably still working on it. If that is his trilogy, then that's all good. But, at this point, I would assume it's the Benioff and Weiss stuff. That's not including, we are getting The Mandalorian and Cassian on the Disney Plus channel or streaming service. So, yeah, really excited for that. We would talk about those things, but, I mean, let's just be honest here, you guys. We all knew that they were making more Star Wars movies. And the fact that they're 3 years out, we can talk about them when they start announcing who's doing them.
Yeah, also, I mean, it's not much news besides there are movies.
Yeah, it's like that's not news to us. The only news is when they were coming out.
Right.
And they could also, and it doesn't matter, like they don't know which time, when in the year. It'll probably be around December.
I would assume so.
But I actually think that's really smart because if it is Benioff and Weiss, they're giving them 3 years to get over Game of Thrones and have as much, like 3 years. yeah, get over Game of Thrones. Let's be honest. Maybe they wanted a year break from everything. Just sit back, relax in the Bahamas for a year, because they did a lot of work these past 10 years.
Also, movie. I mean, they've been making sort of mini or shorter films for the past while now. So I don't think. I don't know. I don't know that it's more work than a TV show, which you have to
definitely.
span, I don't know, 10 episodes or whatever they were doing previously.
60, well, it would have been 67 plus 6 it would have been 73 episodes that they have done from start to finish on Game of Thrones. That's including the next 2.
Yeah, but it may be more work for them since there's no source material, which they have been used to working with.
Yeah, well, there could be if they're going Old Republic or something. You never know. Like we said, we're not. It's not
we'll
really.
We'll definitely start talking when there's
there's news.
Premise, maybe.
Yeah, rumors.
Actors.
Right, they're gonna be. They should be casting soon. Hopefully, they get some Game of Thrones people in there. That would be great. I know. Everybody's. They probably will. But yeah, all we can do now is speculate as to even if it is the Benioff and Weiss stuff or if it's the Rian Johnson stuff. But I like that they're giving it ample time to have them do the full story, to plan it out, to get everything right. You don't, let's just be honest, we don't want another Solo thing where we are rushing for time, where we are, getting halfway into it.
They whipped up a pretty good movie.
They whipped up a good movie considering what they had to work with. But
I really enjoyed it.
It just makes sense to push it back 3 years to give them enough time.
This was the plan all along. Maybe there's for them, they're probably not pushing back. They're just like, take 6 months off and then let's get to work.
And then start casting and all that stuff, or coming up with ideas.
Get that story group in there.
Let's just be honest. We do know that Game of Thrones, for the most part, they are pretty much done with it. Up to this point, it might be interviews and stuff like that. But as far as the story and writing and all that good stuff,
they're done.
They're done with
pretty
it.
Much. They're done.
You never know. Never know. They might be doing some last minute. Because we do know that they did multiple endings. So you never know.
This is not Game of Thrones talk.
I know. But I just think it's very smart for them to give it some time, for them to have as much time as they need and want to get everything right. Because let's just be honest, guys, I'm fine with waiting 3 years if we get something that is mind-blowing.
Yeah, and who knows? It could be Rian Johnson, which I would not be mad about either, because I feel like he's going to go off to some corner of the galaxy and give us a really great, interesting story, and I'm down for that. Yeah,
one where there shouldn't be expectations as far as what we want, from the next two trilogies, from the Benioff and Weiss and from the Rian Johnson stuff. We really shouldn't have expectations. We did have expectations with 7, 8, and 9 because we have characters we know are coming back and things like that. We have characters that were kind of taken from Legends, as with Jason Solo and stuff like that. So yeah, it's we had those expectations. So with these new ones, we really shouldn't have those expectations. I know we're going to when we hear that they're doing Old Republic.
Maybe.
We're going to have those expectations, but we shouldn't be like, oh, well, now you have to put this person in it. This person has to do this. So yeah, we're going to talk about those for the most part when we get more news about them. It might be a while. It might be a year before we hear anything about that. Which
is fine because
we have the TV show.
They're gonna give us Mandalorian.
We have TV shows.
Cassian Andor stuff.
Yes.
We're going to
Resistance,
have stuff.
Clone Wars is coming up.
Yeah, we've been catching up on Resistance. We'll give you a full season 1 review
next week. Yeah.
Sometime.
Give us 7 days to get through the last.
Before season 2 comes out, we'll definitely.
Yeah, before Disney Plus comes out. Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, we will be doing that. Pretty excited for Star Wars.
At Disney Plus, they're just like, and you get a show.
Yes,
and you get a show.
And that's not a bad thing. They're Disney. They're gonna own the world eventually. Might as well give everybody a show.
Might as well.
Yeah. Anyway, we will end it there. We've given our thoughts on Boba Fett. Go check it out, please. It's a great.
Yeah, go
it's
support
a great,
your comic book shops.
Definitely, if for $4, it's a great story that you can read. Let your kids read. Let your it's just great. It's really does Boba Fett justice.
Yeah,
I'd put
really
it
well
that way.
done.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like the character, like I really, really don't like the character,
Yeah.
I would suggest it.
Greg Pak did a great job. Mark Lemmon, Niraj Menon, they
I'd
all
even
did
say
great.
this is a great place to start with Boba Fett.
Yeah.
You know, if you've only seen him in his like 2.5 seconds in the movies, then
Yeah. He's
this
not.
would be-
Yeah.
even before Clone Wars
Right. Of course. I think it's a really great.
and Attack the Clones.
It's it's definitely a good read, worth your $4. But yeah, we will talk to you guys next week when we will probably have that Lando comic to talk about.
I thought it was.
It's coming out in 4 days on Wednesday.
Is that the Solo? comic?
No, this one,
Oh,
the
this
15th.
one.
Yeah, Solo was last week.
Oh right, oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was
so
wondering why they were gonna give us another one. But
Yeah.
was just the-
but yeah, we'll probably have that one. We will most likely be done with the Resistance, hopefully. No promises on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us your thoughts wherever and whenever you want, and may the Force be with you.
Always.